So this will be a first impressions of Twin Star Exorcist, the new Studio Pierrot anime, which kind of worries me slightly because I read into it. Actually, this might be 4 cours. I was like, 4 cours? Isn't the source material not that long yet? In a sense, it doesn't really have that much material to cover 4 cours. I was like, Studio Pierrot, you kind of worry me slightly. I was like, yada yada does it. It's kind of what will you do for 4 cours? If you reach a territory I have nothing else to cover, what will you do? Will you actually go into kind of filler territory? I was kind of like, not too sure I like the idea, because we all know Studio Pierrot can't really do filler, because sometimes, besides that one Bleach core in, like, I don't know, like 3 years ago when they kind of lost its powers, that was the only good filler thing that Studio Pierrot's ever done. I was kind of like, I'm worried that what they will do next, in the sense, I'm worried that if they go into filler territory, they actually will muck it up, because, as we all kind of gather, Tokyo Route 8 was pretty freaking awful towards the end of it, just because it just fell apart, because you just realise they're not covering the manga. That's what worries me the most. That, and probably, I don't know whether or not the kind of source when this is coming from, the 4 cour source, is actually trustworthy enough, because sometimes people will say, oh, it's longer, but actually no, it's shorter. But if it actually happens to be 4 cours, it does slightly worry me, because actually it'll be 48 episodes long, so not too sure. I'm not too sure maybe Studio Pierrot's just sitting there going, we want a long anime, but I don't know. So the actual anime itself focuses on kind of this family of exorcists, in the sense they're kind of these group of people who take down these things called kagares, which are the main kind of formidable foe of this anime. We also get this other idea, this other character called Benyo, which is this girl who's been summoned because she actually has some really freaking good exorcist powers. So she's been summoned by a family, probably, to go there and basically say, you know what, you're pretty good, so you're staying here. But yeah, so we meet Benyo first, Benyo being the girl. She kind of, I don't know how I feel about her. She's kind of a bit reclusive, she's kind of a bit like, doesn't really kind of communicate with people very much. She says to Rokuro later on in the episode, conversations are annoying. I was like, just don't know, because I'm not too sure if or not I kind of like her, like, kind of personality, in a sense. I don't think they're gonna have a good, like, kind of relationship later on, because Rokuro and her won't, like, kind of see eye to eye. You kind of see in this episode when they actually kind of meet for the first time, after she kind of just falls from the sky and Rokuro saves her. She doesn't really kind of hold conversations with him, in the sense she's kind of really blunt, she's really quiet. She doesn't really hold conversations. I think later on in the series, someone come around and gang, in the sense they don't really see eye to eye. It's always going to be like kind of humorous thing, but maybe it will be slightly annoying. So I'm not too sure, but we know, because in the first experience when we see the Kagares, in the sense when she goes at Magano, which is the kind of the world in which they go in to actually kind of take down the Kagares, we actually know she's very freaking powerful, even though she's slightly a bit kind of, she's a bit upfront and a bit fighting and being a bit more like defensive. She's kind of really kind of goes in there and fights. So even with herself, sometimes it wouldn't have got killed if she didn't use the talisman later on to the episode. So you kind of get that idea that maybe or not she's not that kind of defensive, is what I'm trying to say. But either way, I don't know, not too sure about the relationship. It's the thing that gets me the most about this anime. Hopefully later on it actually might change, because Rokuro kind of has that, I'm not too sure, he has a kind of generic kind of pro-tag or Studio Pierrot kind of personality to him, because he kind of doesn't hold anything other than the fact his like past story, in the sense Yoga being the other exorcist dude who kind of says, you know what, Rokuro, you're coming with us on this like kind of expedition, take down his exorcist later into the episode. He's all like, nah, that ain't me, it ain't going there. And he kind of reveals at that point, actually 2 years ago, he's a very respected exorcist. Well, what happened was, he's the sole survivor, or a survivor, of the Hinasaki tragedy, which was this tragedy in which took place where a lot of people died. So a lot of people that was close to him must have died in that situation. So at that point, he's kind of like, well, I can't protect anyone, so I ain't gonna do this anymore. But then later into the episode, where the Kaga's attack and like kind of Benyo is like overpowered, it kind of revealed at that point that actually no, he has to go back into what he's doing. He doesn't want to become that, but he has to go back to doing that because he needs to save people. Because it then revealed at the same time that Benyo and him had the exact same kind of like prospect on life, in the sense they want to take that Kagares to actually kind of get to a future where they don't exist and where they can actually live peacefully. So it's kind of like, okay, they have the same kind of like prospect, they want to do the same thing, and in the end he has to go and save her and save the kids that were trying to save originally, because that's what the whole thing takes place later on. Since when the Kaga's attack, they attack the two like brother and sister, and that's how it kind of goes into Magano, and that's how basically the last part takes place. And you can see Bayo does actually kind of take down the first Hagade, but when the second one attacks, she gets overpowered. Tries to use all the talismans, but she can't take it down. And that's at that point in which Rockador has to come in and save them. And he kind of revealed at that point that actually he's a freaking damn powerful exorcist. So I'm not too sure, because at the end of the episode as well, we kind of get the idea that they will become the Twin Star Exorcists. They will become these two people who I guess I probably have to get married, make something that's really freaking powerful later on, and probably like just decimate every single fragging thing in the world. Not too sure. It does seem kind of interesting. You know, it's heavily burdened by the whole idea of Studio Pierrot's anime studios. I'm not too sure I like Studio Pierrot, because sometimes they do freaking good animes, like, I ain't gonna lie. Studio Pierrot have got their animes. Just a lot of them are freaking awful sometimes. It's kind of like, maybe they might have learned from Divine Gate, because even though my prospect on Divine Gate was probably one of the worst animes I've ever seen in my lifetime, didn't make any sense, that's why I dropped it at episode 10, because it made no sense. Kind of was a fun anime to bash, but still, made no sense, so I was kind of like, I ain't watching this anymore. So hopefully, they will learn from that. Hopefully they kind of sit there and go, guys, we've got to make a good anime here. Hopefully they could just, like, they're adapting from the source material, so they could actually do it, since they're not actually going original yet. So hopefully they don't go original, because if they do, all hell's gonna break loose. But hopefully they will learn from Tokyo Ghoul Route 8 and Divine Gate and just say, guys, we need to make a good anime here, and actually make a good anime. Not too sure, because it's got the formidable side of it that actually might become a really good anime later on. I'm just not too sure right now. I'm not really sure they can do it. But yeah, in entirety, that was whole episode of Twin Star Exorcists. It was interesting, even if I've seen it a lot before. That's what I kind of get from it. I'm kind of getting that whole idea of it's a Studio Pierrot anime. I've seen a lot of these things before. So it's in like that kind of good area of anime yet. So hopefully maybe by, I say episode 6, maybe episode 12, but at that point, if it does go into 4 Cours, hopefully it actually might become really freaking good. So it could. But with what's going to be in Driver, if you leave a like, do leave a like, it's quite a bit, leave a sub, do leave a sub, it's quite a bit. But with what's going to be in Driver, and as I did, bye for now.